Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Friday, the 31st of March. But first, a quick recap on Thursday's performance. Well, it was a losing day, disappointing really. Only one of the horses placed. It returned 9 to 1, but we took the early price of 16 to 1. Never looked like winning, but it actually grabbed second when I thought it wasn't even going to get fourth at one point. So, an interesting day's racing on Friday. I've gone for a decent stake, but I've only gone for four horses. So let's get straight into it. So quickly, if you can give the video a like, that'd be absolutely fantastic. For those who are superstitious out there, click like. Let's hope for a little bit of good luck. So let's get into it. So the entire bet comes to £15. You decide what stake you want to put on. So the bet I'm going to read out is a 25 pence each way Yankee. Then I'll get onto the other stakes on the same horses. So as I said, it's a 25 pence each way Yankee. The first selection is La Traviata at 18 to 1 in the 120 at Lingfield. This horse I think it's achieved more than what it looks, especially it's got a couple of okay Racing Post ratings and it's ran incredibly free on its only two runs for Brian Barr. It's got Luke Morris on board today, or Friday, should I say, and I do think it's capable of running into the first three. I think 18 to 1's a too big a price, and I do think it's actually, even though it's very, very slightly let itself down last time, I do think it's capable of more than what it's shown, and I do think it stays the 1 mile because a lot of its relatives do stay further, so I definitely think that this trip is actually a minimum for it. The second selection is Southwell at 9 to 1 in the 150 at Lingfield. I think it's got a decent chance, although it's the most unlikely of the four selections that I've chose. I do fancy it, but it's just I'm not quite as confident as the other three with this horse. So the third selection is Barney's Bay at 9 to 1 in the 2:05 at Southwell, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse has been running better at Southwell in better class. However, it did slightly disappoint in the same grade not too long ago, but I do think it's definitely worth another try. And paying first four, I think it's got a really decent chance of obviously placing. Timmy used to be stable. They're going okay. When it comes to the flat season, they normally get going about June time. But obviously, this is the all weather, so obviously it's the winter all weather. Obviously, we just entered spring, but there is a lot of horses that has got fit that have been running during the winter, and obviously this is an all weather horse, so I wouldn't class it as one of his flat horses because normally, as long-term subscribers will know, I generally try and avoid the Timmy Easterby stable until late May and early June because basically, in my opinion, the records speak for themselves. They haven't got a great record at the beginning of the flat season. In my opinion, I think all his horses must have a good winter, as in like really fatten themselves up, good condition, a good coat, well fed and whatever. And I think the first few runs are purely just to shed those extra few pounds, get the breathing going, and then get them in tip-top condition, ready for the end of May, June, when the flat season really gets going. But as I said, you can't apply this to this horse because it is an all-weather horse. So as I said, on form, I think it's got a cracking chance. And that was the most long-winded thing I've ever done, describing a horse that end up talking about a Timmy Easterby stable. And finally, the nap of the day, and I can't take my eyes off Jack Shannon's selections. Jack Shannon trained horses. It's got 3. One's got a good chance of winning, although I can't include it in this spec because it's too short, and that one's called Kit Bag. The other one is called Wonderful Something. It's over 5 furlong. It might have a bit of a sneak, so I don't know if you want to have a look at it and maybe include it in your own bets. I haven't tipped it. I think it's called Wonderful World. Have a look at it, and I haven't backed it. That's all I'm saying. But I think it's poorly handicapped, although some of the relatives of that horse are all weather specialists, but I haven't included it, so take a look for yourself. If you want to find it, click on Jack Shannon when it comes to the Racing Post. Click on entries and you'll see 3 horses for Friday. Well, I'm going for the other one that I haven't mentioned yet, and that horse is Easter Icon at 11 to 2 in the 240 at Southwell, paying 5 places instead of 3. If this horse is fit, and we do not know whether it is fit or not, in my opinion, it wins. And that's the only doubt. It's not an excuse, oh, it wasn't fair. The stable are absolutely flying, and I meant to mention this at the beginning of the video. They've had 3 runners, or their last 3 runners. The last 2 have won. The other one didn't. It came second by a nose. So basically, you can call it, they've had 3 winners out of the last 3, pretty much, barring a nose. So they've got 3 runners again tomorrow. If you want to include those 3 together in singles, doubles, and trebles, each way doubles, you do that. But I haven't recommended that bet. So Easter Icon is the pick, in my opinion, of all 3 of his horses tomorrow, Jack Shannon's. Am I right in taking 11 to 2? I honestly don't know. But I'm happy with the price. If it goes to 10s, it goes to 10s. If it goes to even money, which is unlikely it's going to, then it goes to even money. We've got a good value bet. However, I do fancy Easter Icon, so it is my nap of the day. So I am really waffling now. So it's a 25 pence each way Yankee. I've gone for £2 each way on Easter Icon, £1 each way on Barney's Bay and and La Traviata, and 50 pence each way on Sajuan. And then finally, that comes to £14.50. I have had a 25 pence each way accumulator. That takes it to a grand total of £15. So if you're still here amongst all the waffling, give me a like, please, if you will. I really appreciate it. So it looks like it's going to be a decent weekend with the flat season starting properly on Saturday. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.